Hello everyone, I am Miss Divya Verma, teacher of Social Science Class 7, Mount Literacy School, Jhansi.
So, students, in the last session, we had talked about lesson number 4 of history, that is the Mughal Empire. And in that chapter, the Mughal Empire, we had talked about in the last lecture about the introduction part of the Mughal Empire, about who were the Mughals, from where the Mughals came, who were the descendants of Mughals we have talked about. In that we have seen from their mother's side it was Genghis Khan, and from the father's side it was Timur, and they favored to be called as from their father's side. Then we had talked about from where this Mughal empire established, as Babur was the first Mughal emperor and he only founded or established Mughal Empire. Okay, then we had seen various Mughal rulers like Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, and we have known about the details of them. Okay, now today we are going to start about the topic Mughal tradition of succession of the same chapter, and we'll be talking more about Mughal relations with other rulers and about the Mansabdars and Jagirdars. So let's start the first topic, that is the Mughal traditions of succession. Okay, then in this we are going to see that Mughals followed tradition of succession, what method they followed. So like, let us see here, Mughals did not believe in the rule of primogeniture, means वो लोग primogeniture method पे बिलीव नहीं करते थे. Primogeniture क्या है? A system where eldest son inherits his father's estate, मतलब जिसमें eldest son father के estate को inherit कर लेता है. But they followed what Mughals believed in Mughal and Timurid custom of coparcenary, that is division of property amongst all the sons. Means Mughals उस चीज़ पे बिलीव करते थे जिसमें डिवीजन, पूरे इनहेरिटेंस का डिवीजन सारे सन्स के बीच में हो जाता था. तो दिस इज what about Mughal tradition of succession. Now if we talk about Mughal relations with other rulers, नाउ लेट अस सी कि मुगल्स बाकी लोगों से कैसे रिलेशन रखते थे. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज मुगल्स कैंपेन अगेंस्ट अदर रूलर. दे कैंपेन अगेंस्ट अदर रूलर मीन्स द मुगल रूलर्स कैंपेन कॉन्स्टेंटली अगेंस्ट रूलर्स who refused to accept their authority. But as the Mughals became powerful, many other rulers also joined them voluntarily. Many rulers joined them voluntarily. Then Rajputs also married their daughters into Mughals families. Rajput received high positions in the Mughal court. Hope so you all are understanding. Then even defeated rulers were treated honorably by the Mughals. This point you can see it is more important. Like the ones who were defeated by in the hands of Mughal, they were also treated honorably by the Mughals, and many defeated rulers were given their land back as assignments. Okay, so this was all about the relations of Mughals with other rulers. Okay, so here you can see one more thing, that the Shishodhi Rajput of Mewar refused to accept Mughal authority for a long time. But once defeated, however, they were honorably treated by the Mughals and given their lands back as assignments. And this way, the careful balance between defeating but not humiliating their opponent enabled the Mughals to extend the influence over many kings and chieftains. Okay. Okay, now we'll be knowing more about the administration under the Mughal Empire. अब इतना बड़ा राज्य है तो उसको चलाना भी पड़ता होगा. How they administer themselves, their empire. Now let us see. We'll be seeing here about Mansabdar, Zamindar, Subedar, Zabt, and many more things. Okay, so let us see. The first thing is administration in the Mughal Empire, जिसमें let us know about the Subas. Now the organization of Mughal government was on the same lines as that of the Delhi Sultanate. जिस तरीके से दिल्ली सल्तनत अपने राज्य को चलाती थी, सिमिलरली वैसा ही कुछ है, बट द नेम्स आर डिफरेंट. वी कैन से लाइक द मुगल एम्पायर वॉज डिवाइडेड इनटू सूबाज. मुगल एम्पायर को सूबाज में डिवाइड कर दिया गया था. ठीक है. देन द सूबाज व फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू सरकार, परगना एंड ग्राम. अब वही सूबाज आगे सरकार, परगना और ग्राम में डिवाइड होता था. एंड द नंबर ऑफ सूबास वाज 15 इन अकबर्स रेन एंड वाज इंक्रीज टू 20 इन औरंगजेब्स रेन. जब अकबर थे तो वो 15 सूबास थे, और जब औरंगजेब आए तब तक 20 सूबास हो गए थे. गॉट इट? So in the Mughal Empire, the Diwan, Mir Bakshi, Mir Saman and Sadar were the four main officers of the central government. मतलब यहाँ पर जैसे हम डिवाइड करते हैं एक राज्य को, तो उसमें हम ऑफिसर्स का डिवीजन करते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द डिपार्टमेंट. सिमिलरली मुगल एम्पायर में भी अलग अलग ऑफिसर्स अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट के बनाए गए थे, लाइक दीवान, मीर बख्शी, मीर समान एंड सादर. गॉट इट? सो दिस वे वी विल सी द चीफ मिनिस्टर वॉज कॉल्ड द दीवान और द वजीर. चीफ मिनिस्टर जो होते थे, या वी कैन से दैट दीवान फाइनेंशियल मिनिस्टर, फाइनेंशियल ऑफिसर्स होते थे. देन लेट्स टॉक अबाउट बख्शी. बख्शी कौन होते थे? दे वर द अकाउंटेंट हु हैंडल द मिलिट्री पेज एंड दे वर रिस्पॉन्सिबल for the recruitment of soldiers, listening of mansabdars and important officials. Then there was Sadar. Sadar were the minister in charge of religious and charitable patronage. Got it? Then it was Faujdar, that were military commanders. Then Kotwal, the town police commanders were there. Okay, so this way other officers included. Okay, then so we can talk about like Suvas were governed by a Subedar who carried out both political and military functions, and the Subedar was supported by these other officers which we had talked about right now, who maintained peace and order in their empire. Okay, so this was all about Subas and Subedars. Okay, now if we move forward we'll talk about the mansabdars. अब ये mansabdars, ये जागीरदार होते कौन थे? Let us know more. So now the term mansabdar refers to an individual who holds a mansab, meaning a position or a rank. Means mansabdars were those who joined Mughal services and were enrolled as mansabdars. Means these mansabs, means these positions or rank, were appointed from diverse background. Example: Turkish, Irani, Afghans, Rajputs, Marathas. Means they were not from a single background, they were from different backgrounds. Okay, and this way what happened, they can spread the area, they can expand the area. And then now let us know about what is mansabdari system. Okay, so it was a grading system used by the Mughals to fix rank, salary and military responsibility. Means rank and salary were determined by a numeral value called zat. मतलब इस सिस्टम में मुगल्स की रैंक, सैलरी, मिलिट्री रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किस बेसिस पर फिक्स होंगी वो देखा जाता था. एंड ये रैंक एंड सैलरी एक न्यूमरल वैल्यू से डिनोट की जाती थी कॉल्ड जाट. ओके, इट वॉज जाट. क्या है अब ये? द हायर द जाट, द हायर नोबल्स पोजीशन एंड सैलरी. जितनी ज़्यादा जाट या न्यूमरल वैल्यू होती थी एक पर्सन की, उतनी ही उसकी नोबल की पोजीशन एंड सैलरी होती थी. ओके, so nobles with a zat of 5000 were ranked higher than those of 1000. जिसके पास 5000 जाट होते थे उनकी रैंक हायर होती थी 1000 वालों से. And every civil and military officer was given a mansab. In Akbar's reign, there was 29 mansabdars with a rank of 5000 zat. So this is all about mansabdari system. Hope so you all understood this mansabdari system. Now, if we talk about the functions of mansabdar, I have already told you about mansabdar. Now let us just quickly see what are the functions. The mansabdars were required to maintain a specific number of sawar or cavalry to increase the military strength of the ruler. Means mansabdar एक स्पेसिफिक नंबर ऑफ सवार या कैवलरी मैन को जज करते थे. दे यूज टू see and increase the military strength of the ruler, and these cavalrymen were registered and horses were branded. Means the mansabdars did not have any authority or responsibility of administering the jagir, but they have different responsibilities. And like the system of branding horses and maintaining a descriptive role of the soldiers were adopted by Akbar, and these were appointed by the mansabdars. Okay, Then Akbar also maintained a standing army, and the cavalry was the most important branch of the Mughal army. So these responsibilities of cavalrymen were given to the Mansabdars, and the troops were mainly supplied by the Mansabdars only. Okay, then Mansabdars received their salaries as revenue assignment called Jagir. They were not the owner of the Jagir, but they received their salaries by that land only. They were not allowed, not the owners of Jagir. They had right to collect revenue from that Jagir, and Mansabdar did not reside or administrate the Jagir. जैसे दिल्ली सुल्तान से मुक्ति एंड इक़्तिदार होते थे, वो उस अपने वतन, अपने लैंड पे वहाँ पर रहते थे, बट दीज मनसबदार डू नॉट हैव द राइट टू लिव इनसाइड देयर जागीर. सो दिस वाज about the mansabdars, and mansabdars military responsibilities requires him to maintain specific number of savars and cavalrymen, and these mansabs, you can say, they are not like muktis, as they did not actually reside in or administer the Jagir. They only had the right to revenue of the assignment, which was collected by them for them by their servants. Okay, while the Mansabdar themselves serve in some other parts of the country. So this was all about the duties and functions of Mansabdars. Okay, so Mansabdar and Mansabdari system clear. Now let us know about the Zabt and Zamindari system. अब ये Zabt क्या होता था? Let us know. Zabt was a revenue minister under which each province was divided into revenue circles with its own schedule of revenue rates for individual crops. अब जैसे मेन सोर्स ऑफ इनकम जो मुगल रूलर्स की होती थी, दैट वर टैक्स ऑन द प्रोड्यूस ऑफ द पीजेंट्री. And in most places, peasants paid taxes through the rural elites, that is the headman or the local chieftain. And the Mughals used one term zamindar to describe all the intermediaries, whether they were local headmen of villages or powerful chieftains. Okay, so they used only one term, that is zamindars, for all the people, whether they are the headmen or the powerful chieftains. Okay, अब उस एम्पायर, मुगल एम्पायर में रेवेन्यू सिस्टम होता था जिसे जब्त कहते थे, जिसमें रेवेन्यू सर्कल्स डिवाइड किए जाते थे और हर एक एरिया के हिसाब से रेट ऑफ रेवेन्यू सेट कर दिया जाता था. एंड देन देयर Akbar's revenue minister was Todarmal, who carried out a careful survey of crop yields, prices and area cultivated for a 10 years period, and there, on the basis of this data, tax was fixed on each crop in cash, and each province was divided into revenue circles with its own schedule of revenue rates for individual crops, and this all system was known as Zabt. Okay, so this is about the Zabt. So here today we had seen administration system in the Mughal Empire. That means we have talked about Subas and Subedars, and then we have talked about the other officers of their empire. Then we had seen Mansabdars and Mansabdari system, and then Zamindars and the Zabt system, that is the revenue system. Then in the starting we had talked about Mughal tradition of succession and Mughals relations with other rulers we have seen. Okay, so go through the chapter, read the chapter as you all are having your books, and tomorrow we will be talking about more Akbar's policies. Okay, thank you.